Well, howdy YouTube, Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today we're going to play with our Home NAS because you know me, I'm never satisfied with leaving things alone at Unky Joe's Playhouse. We always got to improve things, make them better. So, let's talk about it. Now, if you know anything about me after watching my channel all these years, is I tend to overthink things. It's a trait that tends to run in my family. Now, I have in the past run my Home NAS on Xminology, and if you can afford a Synology NAS, that's what I would recommend you do. Get a good one like the DS918 Plus that has the ability to transcode video. It has a on the i3 or on the Intel chip that they use in the Synology, it also has video built in, and you'll find that QuickSync from Intel works pretty darn well with Plex and Emby, no matter what media server you're going to run. I'm a big fan of Emby. I'm also a fan of Plex, but what gets me about Plex is they keep changing the interface all the time, and it kind of is disheartening. The other thing that does it that I don't care too much about Plex is the fact that it phones home and reports your activity. Emby, right on their website, it says they don't collect any data on you. Be that as it may, I need a server that can store all my home video, audio, my music, photos, that kind of thing, and I want it separate from everything else so that the spousal approval factor is high. I also want to be able to record live TV, that kind of thing, because we don't have cable or satellite anymore. We live off of the internet TV. We either do that, we live off our movies, our music, and I want all that hosted here locally. So I really needed a powerful server to do all that, and I wanted this powerful server to run Windows because I like Windows. I'm a big fan. So what I've decided to do is build a unit based on my old Ryzen AB350 gaming motherboard and my Ryzen 5 1600 CPU. So that's what you're going to see in this video, is me assembling that unit and getting it all ready to go. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about how I've got it configured and what I've learned from this experience. So there's the build. I'm running Windows Server 2019. I have the 4 hard drives in that machine. There's 2 4TB, 2 3TB drives. And they're running in a drive bender drive array. I like drive bender, especially under Windows. It's the next best thing to like an Exponology or a FreeNAS RAID array. Except with drive bender, you can customize what items you want to duplicate and what items you don't care about duplicating. It's not proprietary, so even if something were to happen to the machine or the drive bender, you can take the drives out and read them in any machine that you can put Windows on. So don't be afraid of drive bender. Windows Server 2019 because it doesn't update automatically, and because I happen to have a license laying around. Now this server runs both Emby and Plex because why not, right? Now here's the deal. Most of my video players on my home network are Rokus. I've been using Rokus for years, ever since they came out. Because why? They just work. But Rokus have a problem playing native high-def videos. They have a problem playing MPEG-2 videos. And as you know, I typically was ripping my DVDs into MPEG-2 format using MakeMKV. And I was ripping my Blu-rays into whatever format was on the Blu-ray and not re-encoding it or putting it through Handbrake. The problem is when I do that, no matter what I do on the Roku, no matter what settings you change, the videos are going to transcode because the Roku's not capable of handling the stream. So I have now, as you saw in my previous video about compressing and ripping your videos for Plex and Emby, I've now decided to go ahead and transcode my videos on the front end so that when I run them through Plex or Emby to my Rokus, they don't have to re-encode the video. And I don't need such a powerful server. Even though this server can now handle that load very well, the other task I've set it to doing is to run Handbrake. So during off hours when I'm not using the machine to run Plex or Emby, it can be transcoding, or it can be re-encoding videos through Handbrake and shrinking the size down, saving me space, time, and headaches. So this is a quest I've been on for a long time. And I got a lot of comments. The video about Plex and Emby was great, about encoding video for it and ripping it. The response was great. We've had over 4,000 views on that video. But I had a lot of people correct me. I did make some incorrect statements. You know, the native format of a Blu-ray is H.264. They just use different codecs for it or call it different. So I misspoke, but I get what you're saying. Why are you re-encoding your H.264 into a smaller format? And I don't think what people mainly understood was that the Roku is very picky about what it plays without transcoding. There are very specific specifications you have to use for a video to be streamed to a Roku, again, without transcoding. I'm not a big fan of transcoding. I just don't care for it all that well, even though this new machine I built handles it well. All right, now I want everyone to see for themselves just what exactly is going on now that we have the new server built. And keep in mind, the whole reason I built this server was to handle transcoding. And even though I built a more than powerful enough server, for some reason I still keep getting this kind of stuff going on. And if you just wait long enough, you'll see that it will pause and buffer. This is Murder on the Orient Express. It is ripped in its native AVC format, H.264. It is going through Emby right now. Now this is a wireless Roku connection. I'm going to try connect the Roku wire with a wire. And also that it's at the default speed of auto. So in other words, I can slow this stream down manually and force it to transcode. But I shouldn't need to, right? And this is with Emby, and this is the problem I've had with Emby, no matter what server I use. So let's go over and look at the Emby screen, and I'll show you what it is I'm talking about. So let me switch over here to the left monitor. So right now I have Emby playing Murder on the Orient Express. It's ripped, and as you can see, it's showing us it's taking it from H.264 AVC to H.264 AVC. You'll see my transcode and playback positions are pretty much the same. This is why it keeps buffering on me. And if I click on the information for transcoding, it says the reason for transcoding is the subtitle format is not supported. So what I'm going to do while you're watching me here is I'm going to go over and flip the I'm going to flip the subtitles off. See what kind of change that makes. So hang on a second. All right, so now I've turned the subtitles off. The video is once again playing, and as you can see, it is now direct streaming. So if I click on the little information icon, it'll tell you it's the media is compatible with the device regarding resolution and media type, but is in an incompatible file container, MKV, AVI, MWB. The video will be repackaged on the fly before streaming it to the device. So what it's telling me is the Roku is not made to handle MKV files, and that is true. But it seems to be handling the load just well, or just fine. Let's go over and look at the actual server. And you see we get about 10% CPU usage. You can see the video behind me is still playing, the memory it's using, and the graphics card usage here. Just want y'all to see this. Now, so my other thought was, well, let's switch over to a hard-coded connection on the Roku and see if that doesn't help with the throughput. Now, mind you, I'm also playing a TV show, Gilligan's Island, right there. I can't show much of it. But that I'm also transcoding that as well on the fly, so server seems to be handling that just fine. I don't see the video starting and stopping anymore, so let's go over there now and let's flip it over to back to a hard-coded connection rather than a wireless connection, and turn on the subtitles, and let's see what happens. Alright, so take a look behind me. You can see the subtitles are back on, and you can see we do, well, I don't know that you can see, you're going to have to take my word for it, that we actually have a hard line plugged in. It is connected via a wire, and still we got buffering. Playing at the native, resolution, leaving Emby on auto, playing to the Roku. It just does not want to, it'll play a few minutes and then it will buffer, and that's not a good thing. It's not what we want. Now if we come back over here to the Emby interface, you'll see the reason for transcoding is subtitle format not supported. So whereas previously it was saying the container wasn't formatted when we had the subtitles turned off, now it's saying the subtitle format is not supported. So it still should be buffering here. It'll play, and then it'll once it fills and this is a Ryzen 5 1600 with a AMD video card in there. Should be able to keep up. So I'm not blaming Emby, I'm blaming the Roku. The Rokus have always been really picky about what format they play in. Well, it seems to have settled down now. It won't for long. So what I'd like to do now is go ahead and try this, playing the same video on Plex, and seeing what kind of results we get if we get the buffering and everything. So let me get that set up, and we'll switch over and I'll show you how Plex performs. Now, if I failed to mention this is this player on my bench is a Roku 3, so it's what, 3-4 years old. It's a good player, but as you can see, the video is playing, and it is not pausing, and it is not buffering. The subtitles are indeed turned on, and the Roku is connected wirelessly, something I normally tell people don't do. Don't run your streaming devices wirelessly. Now let's come over and look at the Plex interface here. And so Plex tells you what's now playing. It's playing Plex for Roku. It's streaming at 12 megabits per second. It's transcoding not only the video hardware, with hardware transcoding, I should say. I could spit it out. But it's also transcoding the audio from into from DTS 5.1 into AAC, and the subtitles are turned on, and then you can see what kind of throughput we're getting down here. So if we go and look at the actual server itself, you will see that I am playing a football game in high def under Emby right now. And then here's the Plex transcoder. It's consuming about, 4%. And then the Plex media server is 1% or less. And then if we come to our performance, you'll see our CPU utilization and our GPU utilization. So for whatever reason, even though I like the Emby interface more than I like the Plex interface, you can see that Emby does have some issues when it's transcoding videos. It's not, it can't keep up. I'm going to post a notice in the forums over on Emby and see if maybe somebody can help me figure out why that's happening, because I certainly would like to continue using Emby for the interface. It's just easier for me, but I wanted you to see this with your own eyes. And if we come back now to the movie there, you'll see it is streaming without pausing, without having to buffer. It's on wirelessly, and it appears to be doing just fine with Plex. Alright, so I've started another Emby stream. I'm playing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom back here. This is a video that I've run through Handbrake, so I converted it and compressed it down from its native H.264 Blu-ray format into a lesser bit rate, and it is connected up wirelessly to the Emby server. We'll flip over here to Emby real quick, and I'll show you that it is running. And if I click on the information, you'll see the reason for transcoding is subtitle format not supported. It is not stuttering, it's not buffering, at least not yet. And as you can see, the transcode position is getting way out ahead of the playback position, so I doubt we're going to see any buffering. And that's the point I was trying to make. H.264, I guess that's the AAC, that's the audio format. I don't see where it tells me other than 50 frames per second for the video. But as you can see behind me, and I can't show this for very long, it is playing the video without buffering, so that's a good thing. Now, so that's why I was talking about having to retranscode my videos, or recompress my videos. Plex seems to be handling them just fine. Emby does not. So I'll put a message out to the folks at Emby, share this video with them, and then they can determine what might be causing the problem. There has been another update yet to Plex. I've had 3 updates to Plex this week alone. So I'm going to do that update, and maybe that'll soothe that. And then I'm playing a high-def video here under Emby off my TV tuner. It's playing the football game that's on my local broadcast in HD. So, again, I want to use Emby as much as I can, but for whatever reason, Plex just seems to handle the transcoding of the videos a little bit better than Emby. And mind you, this evidence is all anecdotal. It's just for my system. You know what my system stats are. But, a lot of people, they'll question what you're telling them sometimes. Like, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. No, I wanted to show you what it's actually doing on my end. But let's switch back over again, and you'll see Emby is playing it fine. And the transcode position is way out ahead of the playback position. And, there it is. Now, the other thing we do quite frequently is stream live TV and or record TV, so it's very important. So I already did a high def channel. Right now we're watching Me TV, our local affiliate, which is a standard definition video. It's playing through the Roku 3 wirelessly, mind you, and we're not getting any stuttering. Oh, it buffered. This is another problem with Emby, is occasionally you will get these little glitches in the video where it will just stop playing and start buffering. Now, keep in mind, if you come over here to Emby, it's not having to transcode the video. It's direct streaming it. It even tells you, hey, it's in a format. Direct streaming uses very little processing power, etc. So I did do a high def channel a few minutes ago, but it's playing a football game, and I don't want to take any chance on getting a copyright strike for playing an NFL game. So I can't really show you high def in action, but as you can see, Gilligan's Island is streaming behind me. Now let's go over to the our Plex server and see if we have any better luck. All right, so we are we're over on Plex now, and we're streaming. We're playing Gilligan's Island again off of Me TV. So if we come over here to Plex, you'll see that it knows it's a 480i video, MPEG-2, and it is transcoding it into H.264. Seems to be doing it just fine. It's also transcoding the audio from into AAC from AC3 because the Roku needs it in the audio in a specific format. And if we come over to the server, we can see there's very little impact, whether it be on the GPU or the CPU, and Plex seems to be handling it just fine. Now, we'll see if I haven't been playing with live TV a lot in Plex, but I'll let you know if it drops any frames or stops or starts buffering and stops playing. We'll let it play here for a little while, and then I'll let you know toward the end of the video. But there you go. So one last thing, I've gone ahead and hooked the Roku 3 back up to a wired connection, and I'm playing live TV. Well, I'm playing a commercial right now with Emby, and so far I haven't had any pausing, but I'll keep an eye on this and I'll report back to you. You know, and this is going to bring me to what I'm going to talk about next. Should you choose Plex or Emby on your home media server? So I'm going to go out on a limb here and go, well, I would choose both. Why not? I mean, this machine we built for Plex and Emby are more than powerful enough to handle it. It's got a 6-core, 12-thread Ryzen processor in there. It's got 16 gig of RAM. So not only can it do my hand-brake encoding if I want it to, but it can run Plex and Emby simultaneously. My spouse's preferred server is Emby because of the interface. It's easy to use and has a lot more detail. But it's hit or miss on transcoding sometimes. So I'm hoping Emby's working on that. Maybe they don't even know it's an issue. Not enough people are reporting. I doubt it. But I'm going to go ahead and do the right thing and report it to Emby, what I've seen with this video. They can take a look at it and go, oh yeah, you need to tweak this or tweak that. Plex has gotten better over the years as time has progressed, but you know, the damn thing that bothers me about Plex is they keep changing the frickin' interface. Can you not just leave it alone? So again, let's flip over here to my my server. We call it Jukebox. It's actually its name on the network is called 6, but I call both Emby and Plex Jukebox. That's the common name I give them. So again, we got the AMD Ryzen processor, and then the big kicker here, just in case we do need to do some transcoding in the future, we have the Radeon RX 560 series. And as H.265 gets in wider use, I don't believe that Emby has any support for H.265 right now. I think Plex does, but don't quote me on that. And I don't know if the Radeon RX 560 supports H.265 encoding and decoding. I'll find out, but you know, all my videos are going to be in H.264 or MPEG-2, and we'll just have to deal with the transcoding. And any video I come across that doesn't play well in Emby, I'm just going to run it through a handbrake. Like I say, the high def videos take about an hour to re-encode or transcode, so it's trivial for me. So you know, if you build a server of this caliber with this kind of power in it, there's no reason you can't run Plex and Emby, and then decide for yourself which one's best for you. Their monthly fees are the same. It's about $5 a month for either Emby Premier or Plex Pass. They're well worth the money you're going to pay, because Plex Pass and Emby Premiere both give you the ability to do live TV if that's your thing. And, you know, like I said, I've got an elderly mother living with me who's used to live TV and a guide, and so that works. It's going to work well for us. Now all I need to do is teach her how to use the interface on Emby or Plex, but we'll figure that out. So there you go, YouTube. We hope you found the video entertaining and informative. Please give us a thumbs up down below. Leave your comments down in the comments section. Donate if you're so inclined. We take PayPal, and we take Patreon, and we take money in the mail, cash, cold hard cash. No, once again, don't send money through the mail. It's a very bad idea. Very bad idea. Anyway, come back and see us again. Thanks again for all of your patronage and coming to see our videos. And please, don't forget that we will see you on the other side.